All right, we are live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here on this amazing Friday afternoon or early evening if you're in the U.S. If you're in another country, I know many people watch my shows and my videos from another country. Good day or good evening or good night to you, depending on wherever you're at. We don't leave anyone out of the equation here on the Agrippa on Life channel on YouTube. And yeah, that's just the way it goes. But before we get started here, let me make sure that the notification has gone out on YouTube, and it absolutely has. Let me just check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that that is rolling smoothly. And it looks like it is. And again, we're simulcasting live on Facebook. Let me just check that out for a second before we get right to it here. And again, we're simulcasting live on Facebook. Let me just check that out for... Yes, we're rolling smoothly. We are rolling. Oh, boy, oh, boy. The cavalry's coming in on the YouTube side of things. Oh, man. Well, folks, I'm not going to be on too terribly long on this show. An hour, maybe an hour and a half max. I may be going out later tonight, and I may be going hiking this weekend. I'll update you folks if plans change. If plans do change, sometimes they do, more often than not. Nowadays, people flake out at the last minute, and you know how that goes. You just have to kind of let it slide and move forward, right? So this may be the last piece of content you get from me for at least a couple of days. But if plans change, I'll be back. Keep it locked here to the Agrippa on Live channel. Subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and then you'll know when I go live or put out a pre-recorded video. So yeah, that's that. Also, let me pay special props once again to this channel sponsor here. It's none other than the great Troy Brewer. He is a CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. If you'd like more information about the Discover Community Network, please go down below in the description about a third of the way down, and you will find a couple of links there. If you're on Facebook, go to the search bar on Facebook and type in Discover Community Network. You'll find all of the Facebook business pages that the Discover Community Network has. There are many of them, and I'll tell you, one of those group pages or websites is more than likely going to suit your needs, your marketing needs, or your travel and entertainment and leisure needs. Troy does it all. So check it out. If you'd like more information, you can contact myself. I do work very closely with Troy, more than just his sponsorship. Or you can reach out to Troy, and the ways I just mentioned are the ways you can find out how to reach out to him. Thank you once again, Troy, for your continued sponsorship and patronage of this channel. Now, before I get to the topic here, I do want to mention something that I have heard behind the scenes. Many of you that have been following me for a while know that there have been some issues I've been dealing with lately. I've been handling these issues professionally, respectfully, and maturely as best as possible. This involves a gentleman by the name of Brian, who runs the Texas Caregiver Support Services, supposed caregiving company. He goes by the YouTube username of Wise Night Owl, and I have questioned the credibility of his business. Most of you are aware that somebody he sponsors by the name of J.B. Gunner stalked me, my family, and spit on my father's grave while he was out here in my neck of the woods in Redwood City, California, the San Francisco Bay Area, about 4 days ago. I did email Brian yesterday, and he hasn't gotten back to me. He's probably not. I've tried to email Brian. I've actually tried to message Brian on Facebook a little over a year ago. He blocked me. So apparently, to those of you out there that are saying, "Oh, Brian's a legitimate business. If he's a legitimate business, why will he not respond to his emails? And why will he not, address this very serious issue that does involve his sponsorship?" That's the question I have to ask. Now, I've heard rumors from behind the scenes that people are saying if I put this website on my actual website, if I put this portion of a website back up showing the true colors of Texas Caregiver and people that he sponsors, that these people are going to make a website on my sponsor. Well, hey, I've already talked with Troy about that, and Troy and I are laughing hysterically. We're like, good publicity, bad publicity, it's all publicity, right? And there isn't a lot to put out there about Troy, with the exception of what he does. And if you want to state your opinion about who you think Troy is, you have the right to do that, right? So if you want to create a website and put things out there, I can tell you one thing, there's not a lot of content that Troy has put out there, YouTube style or podcast style. And anything he has put out working with me in the past is all positive. So I don't know what you folks are gonna do to try to defame Troy's character or my character, but we're laughing hysterically at all of you. So hey, if you want to make a website trying to make my sponsor and my longtime 10+ year friend Troy Brewer try to make him look like a fool, you're only going to be making yourself look like a fool. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because the community that's been following me for quite some time, I guess can't stand the fact that I've recognized all these behavior patterns, and I've used my intuition and instinct to handle this properly, right? And it's all coming to an end soon. Anyway, that's that. Let me check out Facebook real quick. Nothing going on Facebook. We have 2 people viewing on Facebook, 17 on YouTube. Welcome to the show. I do see you, J-Rom. You're not blocked. I'm not going to block you. I'm only blocking people from this point on that directly attack myself, anyone in my chat, including my moderators, or say something extremely inappropriate. If you have an opinion, that's fine. If you're attacking or projecting, you're going to get the eject. Those are my rules, and they've always been my rules. So, J-Rom, you've shared your opinions, and while I may not agree with some of them I do, you're welcome to speak here, man. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And quite frankly, I heard some of your shows lately, J-Rom, and you kind of let a few things slip that, Brian should remove JB Gunner. And I do believe that you're not trying to get his sponsorship. I mean, if you did get sponsored by him, it'd be a bonus, but you make enough money to sustain yourself. I've never questioned, I don't question people's income or status. I mean, that's a projection, right? That's an attack. I'm not here to judge people based on their income or anything like that, or even how they live their life. If I were to judge people at all, it's by their behavior out here on YouTube, on live stream chats. So I think the whole situation was that, yes, you like Jamie. And listen, I don't hate Jamie myself. I actually think Jamie on the Lycan Theory channel and the Lycan Legion network of channels is not a bad guy. He's just stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you're trying to protect his sponsorship because the sponsorship that he has through Brian, Texas Caregiver Support Services, pays about 80 to 90% of his income. And if he lost that sponsorship, you can all put 2 and 2 together and figure out what would happen. So I get it. I get where you're coming from, J-Rom. Listen, J-Rom, I don't hate you. I don't think you're a bad guy. You're a pretty funny guy, to be honest with you. And yes, you are trying to grow a YouTube channel as an added bonus to what you do, which is great, man. I'm actually happy that you're putting more effort into it, man. It's interesting, watching you do your stuff. And I've been paying a little closer attention to you lately, Coach J-Rom. And I like those videos when you're on the road with your truck. And I think, honestly, if you did more videos like that, I mean, every so often, of course, anyone's going to do a drama stream, right? Things happen, right? But if you do more videos like that, man, I will watch those in their entirety. I love watching people on the road. I used to do car chat videos with my ex, and they were very popular on my former channel, right? Until JB Gunner trolled her away and stuff like that, right? That's another story for another time. But So, hey, Johnny, how you doing over there on Facebook? What's going on, bro? How are things going with you, man? Have you moved out back to the Sacramento area yet, Johnny? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. I'll check back on the Facebook side of things periodically, but there's a lot more going on YouTube. So before we get to the topic, recognizing behavior patterns, let's instinct make better decisions. Let's get to the YouTube chat and see what's going on. Carl Lincoln, channel member, and a guy that's been following me for a while. Great content lately, mate. You're an Aussie. Only Aussies, Australians say mate, right? I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it live, but we'll look forward to watching on the replay. No problem, bro. Come and go as you wish, and thank you for continuing to support the channel as a channel member / sponsor. I appreciate that, bro. Have yourself a great weekend, man. If I don't hear from you over the weekend, Nunya, aka New Girl in Town. Hello, Coach. Hope your day went well, Nunya. I've been getting your comments on my videos, on my live stream replays lately, and I'm not able to respond to them. I don't know if you have some setting that's not allowing people to respond to comments you make on other channels, but there's something fishy going on with your channel to the point of where I'm not able to respond to any of your comments that are made on pre-recorded videos or live stream replays in the comments section. Now, here in the chat, I can see you just fine, but I'm not quite sure what's going on. I was able to actually, I wasn't even able to heart your comments. I don't know if YouTube is seeing your, seeing your channel as spam and protecting my channel and other channels from being able to comment or heart or like your comments. But there is something going on. Maybe it's a temporary glitch. I just want you to know that I'm not ignoring you. It is a glitch. YouTube's been having a lot of glitches lately, and they're trying to fix them. Queen Helen Casey is in the house. The Queen is here. Welcome, Queen. Rosie Wren's Empire Forever. Hello, all. Hello, Rosie. Welcome to the show. Coach J. Rum's in the house. Welcome, Coach J. Rum. As an astute study of people and having a psychology and nursing background, I love finding people's patterns. Absolutely. You are pretty intuitive, J. Rum, I have to say. And you're one of the few men, including myself, and a few other people out here on the internet. I'll even give the rival, let's just call him that, JB Gunner, that he does have good intuition. He wouldn't be able to do what he does, ethically or unethically, without having good intuition. I even believe Jamie on the Lichen Theory channel and the Lichen Legion network of channels has a pretty decent intuition. And even the guy I have a restraining order on that's been trolling me for years, Trim Hits, a.k.a. Ronaldo, a.k.a. the Doctor, he is very intuitive. He's extremely intuitive. And a few other people behind the scenes. It's not as common for men to be biologically and naturally instinctual and intuitive. It's more of a feminine characteristic biologically, because back in the days of traditionalism, when women, were dependent on men for survival, they had to use that intuition to seek out and get what the strongest man that could provide for them, protect them, etc. Right? So yeah, I get it, man. But the guys that are able to become intuitive and instinctual, which I'll be talking about here in a little bit today, are going to have a better chance of being successful, and they're also going to be able to identify patterns that are not going to waste their time doing the wrong thing. They're going to use that instinct and their intuition to make better decisions and to do the right thing the first time around instead of making tons of mistakes. And that's how I became more intuitive and instinctual. I learned from making tons of mistakes, and now I can identify these patterns as they're happening, and I can take the right action proactively than reactively, right? So yes, excellent comment there. Queen Helen Casey, you're good. Nunya says, hello, Queen Helen. Queen says, hello, Nunya. Let's see here. Queen Helen Casey, the unknown are cringy. Absolutely, Queen. Nunez says, that's weird, Coach. I'll try texting on Messenger next time. No, that's you should be able to engage on YouTube. Engagement on YouTube is very important because comments are what helps a channel grow and triggers the YouTube algorithm to show engagement. So it's no, I see your questions and I see your comments. I'm just not able to respond to them in the comments section. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, if you want to send me something privately anytime, that's fine. But then it's just, some things you just want to engage with the community, right? And engage with me publicly, right? And you should be able to do that. So Lewis Fuller's in the house. Good evening, host, says Lewis Fuller. How you doing, Lewis? Welcome to the show, bro. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here, man. So anyway, let's get to the topic here. Looking over at Facebook, no other comments there. Nunez says, I've never had a problem before. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something just messed up with my channel. Because I've had problems on blocking people the traditional way, and I still do. But I was able to find a workaround. So I don't know. It is what it is. Hello, Johnny. You're on the YouTube side of things. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing, man? Is that the real you, Johnny? If you're over on Facebook, let me know if that's the real you, because people are known to clone people's accounts. Don't mess with Johnny, because Johnny will whoop your you-know-what. I got to tell you something. I've known Johnny since I was in high school when we used to work at the Hillsdale Cinema in San Mateo, California. Gosh, man, a little over 30 years ago. I think it was like 31 or 32 years ago. And, yeah, Johnny's a good guy. But if he has to whoop your you-know-what, that would not be a problem. So just letting you guys know. Lewis Fuller, I'm doing good. Nunez says, hi, Lewis. Rosie Wren's Empire Forever. I may be going to SeaWorld San Antonio for my birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. Johnny Dilk says, listening from work in Alabama. When you coming out? Are you coming out to Sacramento anytime soon, Johnny? That's awesome. Good to see you over on the YouTube side of things too, bro. That's awesome. The YouTube stream has better quality through the YouTube app. So that's cool, bro. Glad to have you over here, bro. You're a good dude. And you can see a lot more people over here than on Facebook. And the Facebook people sometimes are asleep, right? But it's more of our professional and personal networks, and they're not always going to be into what we do. But anyway, Johnny says, I'm a lover these days, no longer a fighter. Well, Johnny, I am too. But I think that, if you needed to protect your family or your woman or, your friends, you're more than capable of doing that. That's a good man, dude. You still have, the capabilities of whooping some, what. But I get it, dude. I mean, you and I have both grown up. We all had a little fun back in those days. And but hey, if you have to protect yourself, your friends, or your family, bro, that's I'm just letting people know, because these YouTube people here, bro, they get a little out of line at times, right? You get some crazies out here, bro, and I'm just saying, don't mess with Johnny. So anyway, let's talk about recognizing behavior patterns. Let's instinct make better decisions. One more time, recognizing behavior patterns. Let's instinct make better decisions. Rosie Wren says, my birthday is in 2.5 weeks. Well, happy early birthday, Rosie. We'll have to do something special for you on your birthday. Maybe we'll do a stream on your channel, or maybe we'll do it on my channel. We'll figure that out. But yeah, keep us in the loop and we'll do something. We got to work on some projects together. We're YouTubers. But let me share a few stories here. And a few examples here of where my instinct and intuition allowed me to recognize things that in the past were hindering my success. And one of the best examples I can give is my experience out here on YouTube as a brand new full-time content creator 4 years ago, stepping back to my former channel. As some of you may have heard this story before in different variations, but I'm going to discuss it according to the topic here. And unfortunately, and I hate to keep mentioning this guy, it all stems back to JB Gunner that has been coming at me again and doing crazy things again. I've known JB Gunner, and now you're being used for example purposes, JB, and you're going to do your response videos that I really don't care for, and you're going to do your cringy shows and whatever, man. It's not a big deal anymore. I don't focus a lot of energy on your BS, but or at least anymore. But back in the days before I really understood what it takes to be a successful YouTuber and what you have to deal with, I came out here. All I wanted to do was run my coaching business. I had a wonderful girlfriend that was on my channel, and she was helping me create content. We did great content together. We used to do a lot of pre-recorded videos called car chat and bedroom chat, where we would share tips and share the greatness of our relationship to help other people, get and have what we had at that point. And car chat was great while we would drive to a destination to go hiking or wherever. Sometimes we would record a half an hour, 45-minute video while I was driving and she was on the passenger side. I put the iPhone with a suction cup on the windshield. I have this nice portable Rode Mini shotgun microphone that gets great quality. It's a directional mic that would pick us up nice and clear. And we were driving, and the camera would also pick up, the side windows and the rear, the rear windshield, right? Or the rear window, the back glass of the car. And it was cool. You could see the area that we were driving. But after I started doing that for a while, this guy, JB Gunner, came in and started to attack us, started to, started to do reaction videos to every single one of my videos or live streams. He would literally do a reaction video to my entire videos or streams, no matter how long they were and no matter how long it took for him to run a live stream, because there was an audience of people back then, based on the community we were a part of, that didn't like the fact that I was trying to help men better understand the modern day woman. These guys were anti-woman. The truth of the matter is, these guys, were incels, involuntary celibates that had difficulties getting a woman. And it wasn't necessarily that they didn't want to be with a woman. They couldn't be with a woman for whatever reason, right? Insecurities, including them feeling physically unattractive, or they just, just don't have the confidence, right? So when they see someone like me, they're going to project, right? So JB Gunner found an audience that didn't like what I was doing. And a lot of that audience, I knew that audience, as well, right? And it just created a whole mess of back and forth. And then JB Gunner did a bunch of crazy things the first year that I met him. He doxed a lot of people and just threatened a lot of people, called people's work and tried to get him fired. He did a bunch of crazy things for the first year, right? And I'm like, this guy's crazy. He's nuts, right? And I didn't understand the YouTube concept back then, that if you continue to do response videos and you keep feeding into it, you're giving him more ammunition, right? And that's what I was doing, right? So, and another thing, the biggest thing that I learned throughout this whole thing is don't get triggered, because these people are trying to trigger you, including JB Gunner. He's still trying to trigger me to this day, and he doesn't anymore. It doesn't work anymore, right? So the first year happened, right? And all of a sudden, some truce was made, or he stopped making content on me. I stopped making content on him. And he went and did his own thing, and I did my own thing, right? Now, let me check out the chat here real quick before I continue the story. Rosie Wren's Empire Forever says, I'll be doing an all-day stream on mine. Okay, great. You can have a panel, Rosie? I'd be glad to join you. Coach J-Rob says, Eli, normally your backgrounds are decent, but the one up now is very busy and quite distracting. Just my opinion. Well, that's your opinion, bro. I put that one there, J-Rob, because it shows patterns. I actually think it's a cool background. I love it. But hey, it's your opinion. What do you folks think about the background today besides J-Rob? You know, I put it back there because it is busy. It's basically showing different patterns of letters and colors, and it fits in with the topic. But that's cool. At least I got an opinion from you, right? At least it was different enough, good, bad, or indifferent to get your attention. That's great. That's awesome. It's all good. So what happened? People that were involved with JB, including myself, were thinking, okay, this guy's just moved on, whatever, right? But no. The second year, JB Gunner inserted himself again and started doing the same exact things that he did the previous year, right? And I started to see a pattern, but I hadn't figured the whole thing out yet, right? I had to wait to see another year of how this was going to, be similar to the previous year, right? And to make a long story short, the second year where JB Gunner reinserted himself into the drama with myself and some other people that have been a part of my communities, and even my girlfriend who I still was with at that time, it was the same exact thing, right? So another year, same exact thing, right? Well, JB Gunner backed away. He has this pattern of where he'll do drama for like 6 months, and then 6 to 7 months or so, and then after that washes up, he'll go back for the other half of the year, 5 or 6 months, and create actual, news stories, which is what he does. He's supposedly a political commentator, right? The most raw, the rawest and realest, right? No, he's definitely not real. He's not real. He's an idiot, right? He's an actor. He's a phony and he's a fraud. That's my opinion. So after 2 years of seeing the same exact thing, right? And then JB went and created his own content, right? I was like, is this guy gonna get tired of, not get tired. But what happened to him was he pushes the YouTube community guidelines and terms of service that he's had a lot of channels shut down. He'll build a channel up to 30K subs. So after the second year, he built a channel called JB Gunner TV at that time, up to 33 or 34K subs, and then he got shut down for a terms of service violation or by multiple violations, right? So then after that, after the second year, when he got his channel shut down, he needed to keep the revenue going, right? So what happened? He started feeding into the drama again. He started feeding into myself. He started reinserting himself. It's all a game to him. It's all an act. This guy is all an actor, right? And I'm not criticizing him. Some people do that, right? But it's all, the point I'm trying to prove here is that it's the same pattern year after year after year. And the reason why I'm sharing this story, it's one of the best examples that I can share with you folks regarding recognizing behavior patterns. And when you recognize that, it will allow your instinct or your intuition to make better decisions how to handle these similar situations in the future, because now you've experienced it not once but twice. So after 2 years of seeing the exact same thing from JB Gunner, when he tried to pull it again the third year, last year, I already knew the pattern, right? So I handled it a lot better. I didn't handle it as best as possible, but I handled it a lot better, right? So the third year, boom, right? Same old song and dance. Reinserts himself into Coach Eli drama, does all the same crazy things he did the first 2 years. That got tiring, and then he went back to creating actual political commentary content and grew his current channel, his current version of the JB Gunner TV channel, because his main one got shut down years ago. He grew it up to almost 10K subs, then he lost subscribers. He has about 8K subs, but I believe that channel has 2 community guideline strikes on it, and he's treading on thin ice. So who knows? He might get shut down again. Who the heck knows? Okay, but now, this is the 4th year now. We're at the 4th year. So I have 3 years of experience in seeing the same thing over and over again. Lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm prepared, right? So when JB Gunner tried to reinsert himself about a little over a month ago, I was on another, content creators panel by the name of American Dream, and JB Gunner came on the panel. And I've shared that story many times. I won't share it again, but he tried to reinsert himself and basically tried to make peace. He was trying to get me to remove a website regarding his sponsor because I put the truth out there regarding his sponsor, that his sponsor is a fake caregiving business that sponsors creators that create hateful content that attacks other creators and doxes them and stalks them and spits on their dead people's graves, right? And he wanted me to remove that website, and he also said, hey, if you want to work on some stuff together, no problem. So I treaded carefully, and I said, okay, look, this is the 4th year. I have 3 years of seeing the same pattern with JB Gunner. He's not going to change. What if I flip it around and play him, right? Okay. Now, at the same time, I was saying, look, if by chance he actually is reformed, okay, fine. But I doubt it. But let's see what happens, right? I'll play it smart. I'll outplay him this time, right? And I did. Because, see, I ended up bringing him back on my channel, and I made him a moderator. He bought a channel membership and donated about $100 total in about a week's time to my channel. And then when we did a live stream on his channel, myself and this other guy, American Dream, which was the channel that JB reconnected with me on his live show. I ended up, giving JB Gunner a good faith $25 donation, but I still made out $75, $80 a head. And then some stuff happened to the point of where, somebody from JB Gunner's, Gun Squad group, which is what he calls that group, came over to my channel and basically, was talking with me behind the scenes saying that JB Gunner and the Gun Squad tried to steal money from me. Okay. At that point, I knew shady things were going on, and that's where I flipped the switch on JB Gunner. But see, JB Gunner was planning to flip the switch on me. He was going to do it regardless, but I just saw it ahead of time because I had 3 years of experience in seeing his same patterns, right? So the moral of the story is this, folks. The moral of the story is that, look, you're going to make mistakes in life. You're gonna try to you're gonna do new things, such as coming out on YouTube was a new thing for me, right? I have a lot of life experience, but I didn't have any YouTube experience as a real content creator, right? So you have to attempt to do something to gain the experience, and you're gonna go through things like I did with JB Gunner for the first 3 years. But if you stick with it and you look back at the patterns of how the first 3 years went, and if in the 4th year it starts to go down that same route, you're going to have 3 years of experience of the same pattern to know how to deal with it and handle it. You see, right now, I'm at the point where I can talk about JB Gunner, and no matter what he does, it doesn't trigger me. He doesn't trigger me, right? And without me getting triggered, he has nothing. His content is worthless without my triggered reaction. I can react, or not even react, I can respond professionally, respectfully, maturely, and that's not going to give him or his audience the same effect as if or instead if I was going off at him or yelling or punching my desk or something, right? That he doesn't get the same reaction that he used to get from me. And the same thing goes with many other people that used to come at me and make content off of me, right? I'm just not giving them what I used to give them because I learned from my past mistakes. I looked at the pattern over the last 3 years, and it was the same thing. And the only way to move past it and move forward is to break that pattern, right? By identifying it, using your intuition and instinct, right? And just seeing that pattern, and putting the pieces together. So that is that. Let me get to the chat here real quick. Let's see. Queen Helen Case says no comment. What's no comment for? Queen Nuna says I like the background. Thank you, Nuna. Hazy Train Queen. It's not bad, man. Stork says good day, everyone. Hi, Coach. Hello, Stork. Welcome to the show. First time here. Riff Magos, welcome, bro. As long as I can be the sarcastic commentator, Smurfs, that's no problem. No problem, Riff. Welcome. Stork says, you seem more chill and at ease these days, Coach. I'm an occasional lurker, not a troll, by the way. Were you here on a different account in the past that I would more so recognize you? You don't have to dox yourself if you don't want to. That's okay. I get it. Well, I am. Listen, Stork, this is how I've always been. In my life outside of YouTube, this is myself. When I was running in-person networking events, this is how I was, right? So you're getting the real me. What you saw the past 3 years was me going toe-to-toe with JB Gunner, and because of that, other people got involved and inserted themselves into this Coach Eli drama. And they did that because it was very profitable to them. They were able to sell me getting triggered to an audience of crazy, immature, insecure, mentally and emotionally unstable drama people, right? And until I figured that whole thing out and what they were doing and how they were, doing this for money and stuff like that, I wasn't able to flip it around. But now with 3 to 4 years of experience of seeing the same pattern, which is why I'm discussing this topic here today, I learned how to handle it. I also learned how to stop it, right? Now, doesn't mean these people have stopped. JB Gunner's still trying to leverage my name and make content off of me, make money off of me. But the bottom line is it's not going to happen. He might make a little bit if he does a reaction video, but it won't be the same because I'm not reacting, right? I'm not overreacting. I'm not getting triggered, right? And I'm sitting here laughing in his face, right? And I'm not letting his empty scare tactics of his threats scare me. Because to be quite honest with you, I don't think the guy is scary at all. He might be a big guy, but he's very overweight. He's very unhealthy. And he's not the most attractive guy in the world. And that's why he does what he does, because that's his persona. He's basically projecting his real life. He tries to make himself seem like he's this really great guy behind the scenes in real life. And what he does on stage is just for YouTube. But no, this guy is completely projecting how he is in his real life. This is him. JB Gunner is a very insecure, very, very immature, very mentally and emotionally unstable man. He is. And, his, the one thing, like I've said all along, is the one thing that hurts a man more than most other things is financial stability and financial security, right? There's no security for JB's income. in order for JB to make the money he's making, he has to continue pleasing his sponsor. And he has to also, continue creating content that, either borderline or crosses the line with YouTube's terms of service. So he's basically, he basically has to do things in a certain way that's not sustainable long term just to make ends meet. I would not want to be in that position where, hey, if I do this or that, it could take away all my income in one shot. I like to have a more sustainable, ongoing type of income, right? Which is what I'm building up to here on my channel, right? And that's how I built my previous business, my insurance business, and stuff like that. And I also will always set myself up, in a transition period, which is what this is right now, from my insurance, business that I sold last year to doing this full time. I will always put myself in a good enough financial position, through other income sources to be able to do what I do, to the point of where I don't feel, what's the right way to put it? I'm secure within myself financially, right? And again, when people are not secure within themselves financially, kind of like what I feel JB Gunner and some other creators are feeling out here, if you don't feel secure, it can really affect you from doing good things. So you end up doing bad things, because that's how you're feeling, and also that's who you are, and that's what some of your audience buys into. But you're going to have a lot of turnover, like JB Gunner is going through again, and you're going to be constantly building something up, and then it's going to crash, and then you're going to keep rebuilding it every year, and at some point you're going to burn out and not be able to do it. That's just my opinion. Riff Mago says he calls JB Gunner Jabba, will be reformed when his man boobs stop jiggling. Okay, that's cool. Johnny says, I don't understand why anyone would purposely fuck with you. Spitting on your dad's grave. Yeah, this guy drove across the country, Johnny. He's been attacking myself. We've kind of gone back and forth for 4 years out here, stemming back to a former YouTube channel I had. And then I shut that down about 2.5 years ago. Then 3 months after that, I started this channel. And this channel's been around for about, over 2 years. He's a sociopath and a psychopath, Johnny. So he basically was paid by his sponsor, who supposedly runs a caregiving business. He was paid by his sponsor to go clear across the country and spit on my father's grave and some other things too. It's pretty pathetic, dude. It's pretty pathetic. Like it didn't freak me out when he was here, because I've been doing this for a while, and I get that some people are crazy, right? But yeah, he did it because he thought I was going to get triggered, and he thought he was going to be able to make an endless amount of content on me. But it more so shot him in the foot. Sounds like he is mentally ill. Well, yes. Yeah, I'm sure, yes, he is. That's a good point. I'm sure everyone else that knows him will agree. He's a sociopath and a psychopath. He is. Very mentally and emotionally unstable. A very insecure guy. In every aspect of the word. He's got to keep his facade going to keep the money coming in, because he has nothing else. Plus, he's a three-time felon. He can never get a real job. So YouTube and being sponsored and making donations on YouTube is the only way he can make income. So yeah. It's just one big shit show, man. One big shit show. Hazy Train, that trip must have cost him a fortune with all the oxygen tanks he would have to bring. Yeah, and he's very out of shape. He's like over 300 pounds, 6 feet tall, has a lot of health issues. Apparently, he had COVID twice over the last year. And the Hazy Train, I heard one clip somebody sent me of what JB said recently, that it cost him 10 grand. No way. That trip did not cost you 10 grand, JB. Maybe 3 to 5 grand, but not 10 grand. No way. That even including those expensive hotel nights, man. you really haven't been gone that long. It was a trip that was probably less than 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? And like, look, if we take, let's say that you spent, let's just say you spent 2 weeks in hotels, okay? That's 14 times the average hotel stay. Let's just even give you the benefit of the doubt. Most towns are cheaper. Let's say $125 a night, right? That's $1,750, dude, right? Let's say on gas, you spend another $500, right? Okay. So we're looking at $1,750 plus $500. We're now at $2,250. Okay. Let's say you eat out every night, and between you and your girl, it costs you $100 to eat, right? Every night for 14 days. Okay. Let's just go $1,500. All right. Let's run the $1,500 in food. That's $3,750. And attractions and all that, let's even just say you spent another $1,000. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. $1,250, right? $1,250. $5,000 for 14 days. This guy always amps things up for his audience. Oh, I spent 10 grand on this trip. No, you didn't. You're full of it, dude. You're full of it, bro. And he said he paid out of his own pocket. No, he would never spend that amount of money. He was paid by a sponsor to come and attack me and take a vacation while he was at it, right? That's what happened, right? That's the truth of the matter. Stork, no, I'm not a regular. Okay, cool. But welcome, bro. Riff Mago says, perhaps his money would be better spent on a new Java's Pleasure bars. Maybe, Riff. Quinn Helen Case, the unknown need to lose weight. Well, sure, for his health. The unknown is definitely nuts. He's not scary, I agree, says Hazy Train. He's not. It's all an act. It's all an act with him. Rift Mago says, in all seriousness, when a man enters his 40s in that kind of physical shape, that never ends well. Yeah, no. I'll tell you this right now. If that guy continues living the life that he's living right now, he won't make it to 50. No, he will not make it to 50. Queen Helen Casey, I would have booted the sponsor to the curb, literally. You're talking about the sponsorship. You're saying if you were the sponsor, you would have removed your sponsorship from JB, right? But he's not doing that. He's not even responding to any emails I send him or anyone else, right? Everyone is calling out this sponsor, Texas Caregiver Support Services, and basically, asking him to make a statement and to remove JB Gunner's sponsorship. But this guy's not doing anything because he's a phony and a fraud. He's a phony. He's not a real business owner. It's a real business, but he's using that business to funnel, tax write-offs. And I'm more than sure he's laundering money in some way, shape, or form. That's why he's keeping quiet. But the more quiet you stay, Brian, the more quiet you stay, the more guilty you are. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Okay. Give me a second here. All right, let me continue here. Let's see. Hazy Train, that was a serious lapse in judgment. I agree. It shows a complete lack of morality and an absence of character. Right. Stork says JB has a simpleton's idea of what constitutes a tough guy. Genuinely strong men don't act the way he does. No, but he has nothing else, dude. You have to understand. The dude is very unattractive. He's very unhealthy, right? Look, you see him on camera. You see how he doesn't take care of himself. He's not appealing physically to any audience, right? And he's a 3-time felon, so he can't get a real job. And instead of taking the time to grow something sustainable out on YouTube, he continues to flip back and forth between what he calls real content, which I guess is considered real content, and drama content, right? What makes him the most of his money, in my opinion, is the drama content. The live stream drama content has always made him the most amount of money, and that's why he keeps going back to that. Now, when he has a few channels that go semi-viral and he's making money, he's good. But when those channels get shut down, he has to go immediately back to what's going to keep that money coming in, right? And again, this is not somebody that, Hollywood would even hire, even if he was smart enough and even if he could do, that type of job, right? Let's say, a TV station was looking for a news anchor, right? And let's say even J.B. Gunner was very capable of being a great news anchor, right? He would never get the job because physically, he doesn't look good on camera, right? So, and that's a huge thing, folks. Honestly, it doesn't matter what anyone says. It's not all about the looks, but you got to take care of yourself. And if you don't have good camera presence, and even if you're a little overweight, you got to take care of yourself. He is not only overweight, he just doesn't take care of any parts of his body. None. Hang on a second. Here. Let me see here. Hang on. He sounds like my ex, LOL, says Nuna. Hazy Train, maybe he lost the other 5K at casinos, man. Maybe he did. I doubt it, though. Listen, Hazy. We all know that Brian, a.k.a. Texas Caregiver Support Services, a.k.a. Why Is That All on YouTube, paid for that trip and said, have fun, bro. But feel free to make a pit stop in Redwood City if you'd like, right? He didn't come out and say, come and attack me. But he said, feel free to make a pit stop in Redwood City because that's where I live, right? So, no, dude. Again, J.B. Gunner is a frugal guy with his money. There's no way that he would spend 10 grand out of his own pocket to go on a cross-country trip with the primary purpose of coming out to do what he did to myself and my family. Now, he did enjoy other aspects along the way, but why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you enjoy, this country on a road trip like that? I would. But his primary purpose was to come out to do what he did to myself and my family. It's pretty pathetic. And he tried to turn it into content, but it backfired on him. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to step away, take a quick break, and I'm going to come back and read a little more of the chat and share one more story. I'm not going to be on too much terribly longer because I got to start getting ready. I may be going out in a little bit. So let me just cue up some music. Now let me check out on Facebook. It is Johnny. He said, confirming it's me. Thank you, Johnny. Cool. Johnny, I will moderate you at some point on my YouTube channel. So that way nobody can clone you. All right, let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music here. Give me a second. Let me see here. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a break, 10 minutes or less. when I return, I'm going to basically go through the chat, and then I'm going to share one more example regarding recognizing behavior patterns lets instinct make better decisions. I'm going to share an example regarding personal dating relationships. This has tremendously helped me, and I think it can help you folks as well, whether you're male or female. All right, so with that being said, stick around. We'll be right back. back. That was quick. Quick restroom break. Quick refill of the coffee. Yes. Woo. I feel good. You feel good. The weekend is here. Let me get situated here. Tuck in the shirt. Gotta look pretty for the camera, Eli. Gotta look pretty for the camera, right? Unlike some other creators I know that don't have great camera presence, I think it's important. I feel it's very important, right? Yes. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you can all join me on this Friday. Regardless of where you're at, I guess it's Saturday in some place already. If it's Saturday, good Saturday to you. Today, folks, we have been discussing recognizing behavior patterns lets instinct make better decisions. One more time, recognizing behavior patterns lets instinct make better decisions. If you missed the first part of the show, I shared an interesting story about my YouTube experiences and how somebody was severely attacking me and trolling me for years. And after 3 years of seeing the same exact patterns, I recognized it and I outplayed him during the beginning of the 4th year. He's probably watching me right now and laughing, and that's fine, sir. You can laugh all you'd like, sir, but let me make something clear to you, sir. He, or I don't say he or she because I respect women too. He or she who laughs last, sir, laughs best. That's all good, bro. Take that for whatever it's worth. It's okay. It's no big deal. It really is no big deal. Now, let me get back to the chat here real quick, and I'm going to share an example of recognizing behavior patterns, right? And this was involving, I was thinking about, which story should I share regarding this. I have many stories with women and recognizing their behavior patterns of them telling you one thing and actually them doing something differently, right? And calling them out can make all the difference in the future of your relationship, especially if you're dating a woman early on and she's, she hasn't decided if she wants to be with you yet. Like the first few weeks, the first month, right? Women are going to be talking to other men and, they're going to say that they're not and yada, yada, yada. But we'll get to that in just a second, okay? But let me get back to the chat here. And Riff Mago says, indicating that he's the one simping to his sponsor, meaning that he cucks to said sponsor. Are you recording yourself simping? Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, Riff. I could not have said it any better myself. That actually is stated perfectly, bro. Thank you for that. Nuna says, I take that back. My ex was in good shape, just a psychopath. Did you mean to say psychopath or sociopath or both? I think you misspelled it there, but I get what you were saying, Nuna. Queen says, Queen Helen Casey, I think you meant to say laundering money. There you go. You correct yourself down below. Laundering money is definitely a crime. It absolutely is, Queen. And that's what this guy's doing. That's what the sponsor's doing. And if you're not doing that, Brian, Texas caregiver, then you feel free to sue me, Brian, because that's fine, bro. Feel free to sue me before my family sues you, bro. I mean, look, Brian, JB, and anybody out here that is unhappy at the fact that, myself, along with many others, are stating the truth about this fake sponsorship, why don't you folks take some legal action, right? Do it. I dare you to. I look forward to it. They're not going to do it. No. They know they're guilty, right? We all know they're guilty. The moment they do that, it's like shooting themselves in the foot with their own gun, like Cheddar Bob in the movie 8 Mile. Riff Mago says, perhaps he's frozen his sponsor in carbonite. Maybe so. Stork says, JB strikes me as someone who thought gangster rappers were cool as a kid and never matured and grew out of it as he became an adult. Well, he didn't take care of himself past his 30s, bro. He was, I wouldn't say he was ever the most attractive guy in the world, but in his 30s, he took better care of himself, right? Before he started doing drugs and drinking a lot. He even once said that, he showed some videos of him in his 30s where he called himself young-mouthed. Young-mouthed. Okay. I'm not going to go into further detail on that. You folks that know him can figure that one out. But yeah, he's definitely let himself go. And he doesn't have the camera presence necessary to create something genuine and sustainable like I do. Like I'm doing. Let's see. Riff Mago says a whiskey shot for each time. Eli says, hang on a second. Okay. That sounds good. I'll join you on that, Riff. Riff Mago says beer chaser for every, let me see here. Okay. Thank you for that. Queen Helen Casey with the eyes. All right. We're caught up with the YouTube chat and nothing happening over on Facebook. So again, we're talking about recognizing behavior patterns lets instinct make better decisions. Now, in my 30s, let me see here. Just got a message from behind the scenes, right? Okay. I can briefly talk to the person that reached out to me behind the scenes after the show for about maybe 15 minutes or so, but then I got to start getting ready. I may be going out tonight. Yeah, and this person is having the same type of sleeping pattern I've been having lately, sleeping at odd hours because lots has been going on. I get that to the person behind the scenes. I get it. So yeah, in my 30s, I really started to recognize patterns in women that I was dating because of what I've dealt with in the past, right? In the modern world, this started happening decades ago, but it's more so happening in the current modern world in 2021. More so is that, if you start to date a woman, like for the first 2 to 4 weeks, or maybe even a couple of months or so, until that woman decides that she wants to be in a committed relationship with her, which has to be her idea, and mentions it to you, she's more than likely going to be leaving her options open, meaning that even if she's going on dates with you, having a good time, the sex is great and all that, she's going to be talking with other guys, right? But see, with me, like, I make it very clear when I talk to a woman, I'm only looking to focus on one woman at a time. And if I start to date someone, if I go on 2 or 3 dates with someone, I'm not focusing on any other woman, right? Sure, there may be women on backup status, right? But I'm not reaching out to them. It's a number on my phone, right? Okay. But there are, many women will continue to go on dates with other guys while dating you because naturally women don't want to be alone, and neither do men, but more so women. A lot of women just, are unhappy emotionally not having somebody there, right? And because they know that, sometimes things don't work out, even if they seem like they're going to work out. If it doesn't work out with someone like me, they want to immediately go from myself to that other guy, like instantly, right? Right? That's why they have all these beta male orbiter lurkers, right? But see, with me, it doesn't fly with me, right? So I'm going to share a story where I recognized the behavior of a woman I was dating in my 30s that, was trying to get me to believe that she was just focused on me and nobody else, right? Because I made it very clear. I make it very clear to every woman I'm with. I'm only looking to date someone that's looking to focus on getting to know me. I'm looking for something real. I'm not looking for someone that wants to date multiple people even early on, right? And what do all the women say? No, I feel the same way. But remember, like I said, guys, in the past, and ladies, this can happen with you as well regarding guys, but this more so happens, with women. Guys, it's not about what a woman tells you, it's what she does, right? Actions speak louder than words, right? So what women say and what they do are two different things. Remember, women are emotional beings that respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment, right? You've got to take that into consideration, right? And use your intuition and instinct once you gain that to be able to identify that, right? So I've been seeing this beautiful woman. I'm not going to mention which one she was. I've talked about some of my relationships in the past. I don't need to mention who it was. But I was seeing this woman for a couple of weeks. And, she told me she was getting off of work and she was going to be at my place on I had the weekend off from work. I was working in retail back then. I had the weekend off of work. I worked Friday. I was off Friday night. We were going to spend the weekend together. We were going to, go away for the weekend, have a good time, right? She's supposed to be at my place at 7:30. Well, 7:30 came. She wasn't there. So I texted her, and she didn't get back to me. Okay. 8 o'clock came, and texted her. She didn't get back to me, right? 8:30 came, didn't hear back from her. And around 9 o'clock, she gets back to me and says, "I'm so sorry. I'm running behind. I didn't get your text, this and that." Oh, that's a bunch of crap, right? Right? And now this woman lived in the East Bay area. And I've always lived in different areas around the Redwood City area. I was still living in Redwood City during that time. And to get to Redwood City from the part of the Bay Area she was at, she would have to take a highway called Highway 880. And from where she was coming from in the East Bay, she would need to take 880 south to Highway 92 west, go across San Mateo Bridge to get to my area, right? Well, she calls me directly at around 10 o'clock saying that, "Oh, I'm lost. I'm lost. Can you tell me how to get to your place?" She'd been there many times before, right? So she was driving, right? And I'm like, "Where are you at right now?" "I don't know. I'm lost," right? And she's trying to BS me, right? Well, I said, "Well, when you pass the next freeway sign or, on the side of the road, it'll tell you what freeway you're on and what direction that freeway states, right? North or south, right?" And she goes, "Oh, and I asked her, what exit are you by, right?" So she told me, she goes, I'm on 880 North, and I'm by this exit, right? Now remember, the part of the Bay Area she lived in, okay, she would take 880 South to get to Highway 92 West, right? To go across San Mateo Bridge and to come to my place, right? But she was actually south of Highway 92, right? She was like 30 minutes south of Highway 92, closer to San Jose, right? Based on the exit she told me she was near when she called, saying she was lost, and the direction of the freeway instead of 880 South was 880 North, because she was heading back towards Highway 92 because she had gone past my exit because she was going somewhere else during the time she was supposed to be at my place, right? No, that's okay, Nunez. Nunez says, "I'm just listening, Eli. I find you interesting on many subjects, but I don't always have an opinion, so I just zip it." I have stories to share, plenty of them, and people learn from them, and I learned from them, and I became more instinctual, right? And so can you folks. If you recognize these behavior patterns, you can call them out. I told her, I said, okay, well, for some reason, you're south of where you're supposed to be, and you're heading back north to go across the same bridge on Highway 92 West as you always have, right? So she found the exit, and then next thing you know, she ended up getting to my place like by 10:15 or so, right? And I was like, I'm going to call her out of this shit. And she was hot, and our sex was good. But when it comes to me and being with a hot chick, like, I don't care if it costs me from getting laid that night. I stand up for what I believe in, and I don't put up with any BS, especially when it comes to women and dating. I got a zero BS tolerance. I have a lot of self-respect, and that's what I'm trying to teach you guys out there as well, right? So she gets to my place, right? I'm like, how's it going? She's like, oh, good. How are you doing? I'm so tired. Can we just go lay down and relax? I said, no, let's come sit here on the couch. And what do you mean? I said, we need to talk. It was 2 weeks into it, right? And she goes, what were we going to talk about? We're going to talk about why you're almost 2 hours late and you didn't call me for it or contact me for an hour and a half to let me know. I said, I don't have a problem with you being late as long as you call me respectfully and let me know you're running behind, right? Let's see. She could have told me, she could have made up some BS and told me that, I'm running late at work or something. Even if she was hanging out with some other guy, in another place, she could have covered her tracks better, right? But this is what happens with women sometimes. They're so emotional at times that women are not good BSers. That's the thing. Women are not good BSers. They try to BS you and they can't, because women were not biologically made to be BSers. Men were made to more so be better BSers, because being a BSer requires you to be more logical than emotional, right? I'm not saying that women are not logical. They are, but women respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And women do not like lying, right? So she goes, what do you want to talk about? I said, you lied to me. What do you mean I lied to you? I was just running behind. I said, no, I'm going to prove to you right now that you lied to me, because you basically, we're an hour and a half late. You didn't communicate with me. You're running behind. I feel that's pretty rude. And, also, when you told me you were lost, trying to get to my place that you've been to many times already, you were on the opposite side of the freeway that you should have been on if you were coming from your house. If you were coming from your house, you would have been driving on 880 South, getting off at 92 West, crossing the San Mateo Bridge, and coming over here, right? But instead, you were on 880 North, closer to San Jose, based on the exit you told me. And so obviously, you spent the last hour and a half or even longer than that hanging out with some other people. You're going to say they're friends, right? Oh, okay, I was hanging out with friends. I should have told you about that. Well, I don't believe that you were hanging out with friends. I think you were hanging out with some other guy. But, you can be honest with me or not be honest with me. Okay? Well, I was hanging out with friends. I said, I'm not buying that. And she goes, well, what do you want to do? Do you want me to leave? I'm like, do you want to leave? She goes, no, I'd rather enjoy this weekend with you. Well, I'll tell you what, if you can start being honest with me and, letting me know what's really going on. I get we've only been together 2 weeks. And quite frankly, if you're deciding between myself and another guy, you're going to have to make that decision, because, I'm not going to take you away this weekend or do anything if you're going to play these games. And she's looking at me like a deer in headlights, right? Because she's hot. She was hot, but she'd never been called out on this before, right? So you know what she did? You know what she did? She started looking at me, and she came up to me and said, I'm sorry, and came and grabbed me and started making out with me. And she apologized, right? It's funny to me how women get turned on when you stand up to them and stand up to their BS and you're a real man, because women are looking up to men for their strength, emotionally, mentally, physically, etc., right? So we went to the bedroom afterwards, obviously, and like Coach Corey Wayne says, we had an incredible session of the indoor Olympics, like Coach Corey Wayne calls them, the indoor Olympics, the sexathon, right? And you can better believe I took my aggression out on her, and she actually liked that because women love it when you take out your aggression on them in the bedroom, right? And it was interesting. After that point, she was very communicative. She was very rarely late. If she was late, she would contact me. She didn't want to lose what we had, and we ended up dating for a while. But I set the tone, right? Had I not set the tone, and had I not been willing to, I was willing to walk away. I was willing to walk away. But she asked me, she goes, do you want me to leave? I said, do you want to leave? Right? Do you want to leave? She goes, no. Then tell me the truth, right? So if I didn't have the experience of recognizing that behavior pattern, right? You have to look at things very closely, guys and gals, on the flip side when dealing with men. You have to look at things very closely. Just because a woman is hot and she's allowing you to have sex with her and you're having fun doesn't mean they're being genuine with you, right? And with me, if they're not being genuine, I'd rather be single than put up with BS just to have sex with a hot chick for a little while. And that's the moral of the story there, Let me read the chat one more time, folks. I'll be going off the air in just a few minutes here. Just a few minutes here. Nina says, I'm just listening, Eli. Okay, I'll read that. Johnny says, when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. That's right. That's right. But see, Johnny, the thing is with a lot of guys nowadays, it's mainly the beta males. And I'm sure you know that, Johnny, that ruin it for us good guys, right? The beta males pretty much conform to anything a woman does. If a beta male was in the position I was in with this woman, like he would have just said, that's okay, babe, no worries, you don't have to explain to me, right? Then she would just stick around for a little bit, maybe use him for his money, a little bit of sex, and then she would get what she needs and she'd be gone, right? But when you stand up to the woman and you call her out on that, one of two things will happen. She'll either walk away, or you walk away, or you both walk away, or she'll say, I better stop BSing this guy because I really like him and I don't want him to leave, right? Right? Nina says, Coach, now that I can relate to. Absolutely. I'm sure many people can. That's why I share these stories, folks. That's why one of the best ways to connect with your audience on social media, YouTube, Facebook, etc., especially YouTube through video, is through storytelling, folks. Storytelling, to me, is the best way to connect with people. I love it when YouTubers share their own personal stories because you can learn from them, right? We can all learn from each other, right? All right, folks. Rosie says, I love you, Eli. We all love you too, Rosie. Brotherly love, right? All right, we're at 1 hour and 24 minutes, folks. I'm going to wrap this up. I got to get going. I have a phone call to make, and then I got to get ready because I will more than likely be going out tonight, and I may be going hiking tomorrow. If I end up not going hiking tomorrow, I'll probably do a stream. Nuna says, I love your stories. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, folks. I appreciate that. So yeah, if I'm not around tomorrow, I will probably be back on Sunday, but who knows? I may not even be back till Monday. If I don't come back until Monday, just know the weekend ended up being a lot more fun than I expected. Let's put it to you that way. So with that being said, have yourselves a great one. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye. Bye.